7 things you should do every morning to avoid watching porn inspired by the wisdom of Stoicism. The path we walk is not always clear. Each day, we are presented with choices, temptations, and challenges, some seemingly small, others momentous. But all of them share one thing. They test us. They test our willpower, our resolve, and they test our ability to remain true to the person we want to become, rather than succumbing to the false comforts of fleeting desires. Among the greatest temptations of modern life, those that seek to rob us of our mental peace and emotional strength, is the addiction to pornography. A powerful force that feeds on our momentary weaknesses. It promises satisfaction, yet leaves only emptiness in its wake. And like any other destructive habit, the more we give in, the harder it becomes to break free. This morning, as the sun rises and we open our eyes to the day ahead, there is an opportunity, a chance to take control of our lives, to define ourselves by our actions and not our impulses. This text is not merely about avoiding porn, but about something much greater. It's about cultivating the strength to avoid all distractions that pull us away from the person we are capable of becoming. 1. Greet the day with purpose, not habit. The first mistake many of us make is to greet the day without intention. We wake, we move through the motions of our routines, but we lack purpose. This is where the journey begins. Not when we give in to temptation, but when we allow the day to slip away without thought, without a conscious effort to live with virtue. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius, perhaps one of the greatest Stoic thinkers and a man who ruled an empire, opened his daily meditations with a reminder to himself. When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they can't tell good from evil. He is not suggesting that we should greet the day in a state of cynicism. Rather, he is advising us to recognize the realities of life, temptations, frustrations, and distractions. These things will happen, and they may even try to pull us off course. But we must respond to them with awareness and with the clear intent to rise above them. This is the first step to overcoming the temptation of pornography. Start your day with a conscious, purposeful declaration of who you will be and what you will achieve. 2. Discipline your mind before your body. The next crucial practice in Stoicism is mental discipline. The mind is the root of our actions. If our mind is undisciplined, we become slaves to our desires. If we allow ourselves to be carried away by every impulse, we are not free, no matter how much we may think we are. As Epictetus, one of the foremost Stoic teachers, famously said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." Our bodies are often ruled by our thoughts. If we entertain a thought long enough, it manifests as action. This is particularly true of desires. Pornography is often the result of idle, undisciplined thinking. What if I just check? What harm could it do? I deserve a break. The temptation grows louder with each indulgence, and soon it is no longer a choice. It is a compulsion. But Stoicism teaches us that the mind must be trained before the body, and it must be trained in discipline. Before your feet hit the ground in the morning, take a moment to center yourself. Quiet the mind, breathe deeply, and focus on your breath, your body, and your intentions for the day. This practice of mindfulness will allow you to observe your thoughts rather than be controlled by them. When a temptation arises, you will be able to notice it for what it is, a passing thought, not an inevitability. Take ownership of your mind. Instead of letting it wander aimlessly, decide where you want it to go. What will you focus on today? What will you give your attention to? If your mind is not actively focused on your goals, it will inevitably fall prey to distractions. A mind that drifts is a mind that succumbs to destructive habits. A disciplined mind, however, is a fortress that resists external impulses. The Stoics did not believe in ignoring their weaknesses. In fact, they believed that only by confronting our flaws directly could we begin to overcome them. Pretending that we are immune to temptation or desire is not the Stoic way. The temptation to watch pornography, like any other vice, is not something to be ashamed of. It is simply a part of our human nature. Seneca, the Roman Stoic philosopher, said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." The key is not to deny your weaknesses, but to recognize them and learn to master them. When the temptation to indulge in pornography arises, don't chastise yourself. Don't feel ashamed. Instead, acknowledge it as a part of the process. This is an opportunity to grow. Resisting temptation requires us to build strength, and that strength is forged in the fire of our weaknesses. If you've struggled with porn in the past, that is not a failure, it is a teacher. Every time you face the temptation and choose differently, you grow. Every time you overcome that urge, you cultivate a greater sense of self-control and resilience. 4. Master your emotions or be slaved by them. Pornography, like many addictions, is often driven by our emotions. Stress, loneliness, boredom, or a desire for comfort may drive us to seek temporary relief. The Stoics understood that emotions, though natural, should not control us. They should be observed, understood, and managed, not indulged in. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Your emotions are not enemies, but if you allow them to dictate your actions, they become your masters. When you feel the urge to watch pornography, it is likely rooted in an emotion: loneliness, frustration, anxiety. The key is not to suppress the emotion, but to understand it. Why are you feeling this way? Can you address the root cause of this emotion in a healthier manner? It may take time to develop this skill of emotional mastery, but every time you pause, reflect, and choose a different course of action, you strengthen your ability to act from a place of reason rather than emotional impulse. 5. Set an intentional focus for the day. A mind without focus is like a ship without a rudder. It drifts aimlessly, carried by the winds of distraction. To avoid the temptation of pornography or any other distraction, you must have a clear focus for the day. Every morning, set an intention for what you will accomplish. Whether it is related to your work, your relationships, or your personal growth, set a specific, meaningful goal for the day. The clearer your focus, the less susceptible you will be to the small distractions that seek to steal your attention. The Stoics believed that clarity of purpose was key to overcoming any external challenge. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Pornography, as tempting as it may seem, cannot compete with the power of purpose. A life lived with focus and intention is a life that resists the distractions of the moment. Each day becomes an opportunity to move closer to your highest potential. 6. Cultivate gratitude for the present moment. Gratitude is perhaps the most powerful antidote to the desire for more, and especially the desire for instant gratification. Pornography, at its core, is an escape from reality, a way to distract ourselves from the present moment. But the Stoic teaches us to find peace in the present, and to cultivate gratitude for the life we have right now. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." When we are truly present, when we appreciate the simple pleasures of life, the need for external distractions fades away. Each day, take time to be grateful for what you already have. Focus on your health, your relationships, your opportunities for growth. These are the things that give life